Who's next? Let's see who we got next. Let's see. Yeah, it's still kind of light out. It's like almost 9 o'clock. I ate. Taurus, it's your turn. Here we go. Yay. This is your general read for August. Please check the description box below for everything you need to know. Please also check your rising, moon, and Venus sign. If this doesn't resonate, it may not resonate. I do not offer personal readings, at least not now. I don't know if I will in the future, but if I do, you're only going to see it in the description box or on this video. You will not see it anywhere else. There are scammers everywhere. So yeah. Now, if you're watching a tarot reading on YouTube, then you probably believe in lots of esoteric things, in which case I am clairsentient, claircognizant, and clairaudient. And so if I hear ringing on my right-hand side, 2 seconds. Sorry, didn't want to lose it while I was doing laundry. Yeah, because that's what I do on Friday nights. If you are hearing ringing on, if I am hearing ring rather on my right hand side, then it means I'm hearing messages from people I know that have passed on. If I am hearing ringing on my left hand side, then that means that they are messages from my spirit guides. I am not doing clarification on this read. So let's get started, shall we? Paulina Tarot is what we are using for your reading. I've been shuffling as we've been talking. Like I said, I'm not doing any clarification for this guy right here, but this is your August read. Yeah, please share. I need more subscribers, man. Like, this is kind of stupid. Like, I want to get things going, you know, and I don't suck. You know, I've been doing this for 24 years now. Try and do as many readings as I can. If I do a love read, I will do clarification, but it'll only be because I'm going to do like way less cards. We're going to do a past, present, future spread for you. So 6 cards. I will also read dignities, twist for fairness for you. And let's, ooh. I almost want to just read what flipped there. That's a giant stack. Let's do it for you. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the past for you. Taurus, what do we got? Taurus, okay. 6 of Pentacles, balance. Libra energy. This is either being the charity or being the person giving to charity. It's also equilibrium, balancing with somebody or something of some nature. Seems to be that, I think for this card in particular, we're looking at, you know, summing up of some sort. You might have found that there was some point there where you needed to kind of like figure out where you were giving too much to something or somebody was giving too much to you, and you had to balance out with them. That's what it seems like to me. What else for you, Taurus? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. My kid is a Taurus, you know. So I was actually going to get Taurus tattooed here because I have Capricorn tattooed here, and we're both Earth signs, so I wanted to get the same. But you know, it's been so long that I don't think I get the same color of green if I do it, so it might look weird, you know. Yeah. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What else? Okay, the Empress. This is you, or Libra. You got 2 Libra cards, but I will say this is you trying to stand in your energy, trying to use creative thinking, connect with the earth in some way. You might have gone camping. You might have tried to exercise creative energy in some sense, either by writing, music, art in some form, but it's the connectedness with earth, Venus energy. This is you. It's also recognizing where we throw out creative energy into the universe, and it doesn't matter where it lands. It's not necessarily that you're going to direct it at one specific individual. Where it lands is not necessarily always an intended target. It's like throwing out the wildflower seeds into the garden. Where those seeds bloom, where they pop up, where they sprout is where they sprout, man. It's never going to be an intended target, but they will eventually bloom. They will eventually sprout, and it's all that Earth Mother energy, right? It is exactly that Earth Mother energy, and recognizing the connectedness with Earth, the connectedness with creative spirit, and how you have the ability to create things. I think that there's also something indicative here, considering we have the Six of Pentacles beside it, where you needed to balance yourself by connecting with Earth, grounding and centering by connecting with the Earth element. Absolutely. You were not connecting, you were not balanced, and so in order to do so, you need to reconnect with the Earth. Okay, that could be through stupid little things like doing yard work, even, or taking somebody fishing, but that connectedness, right? Even by creative pursuits, where you're building something upon the Earth, right? Building something that's tangible, tangible upon the Earth. I'm gonna close this. One sec. Oh, nobody ever gets to see me get up while I'm sitting there, but it's loud and it's cold, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, sorry. It's cold outside here. Baby, it's cold outside. Why am I getting Christmas songs right now? Something has to do with Christmas? You balancing with something that happened at Christmas time? Around Christmas? Or somebody that has to, that reminds you of Christmas. Anyway, what else for Taurus? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm trying to keep these super short. And Aries had a whopper. Theirs was almost an hour. That's too many for you. I'm not going to read them. What else we got? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. If you didn't already know, I read flippers and jumpers, because I think that's the most random way that shit could ever happen, and I think that's probably the way that things are most meant to be. Right? Yeah. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is bugging me. Anyway. When you're on camera, all sorts of things bug you. Oh, Jesus, they're all flipping out like this. King of Cups energy. This is Cancerian Pisces energy for me. There's a heart space here that is happening for you in the recent past. Connecting with your intuition, but also embodying deep intuitive spaces. Something where you need to connect with yourself in a deep intuitive sense. Something where you had to feel your way through something. It's a deep inner emotional knowing, or connecting with your emotions from a higher plane. I want to say it's a scorpionic thing, something that happened during October into early November for you, where you were connecting with your emotions. And the reason I say that is because Taurus and Scorpio are both fixed signs. So that's what I'm feeling there for you. Yeah, flip it. Yeah, it happened during October, because this is a Libra. You tried to exercise equilibrium. You tried to be impartial. You tried to look at things from an intellectual space at first. There was no way to do it from an impartial standpoint. That King of Cups overruled the Queen of Swords. Here. You tried to be creative about it as well. You tried to balance with it. But the thing was, is that your heart space was too large. It overruled the Queen. That King of Cups overruled the Queen of Swords. There was supposed to be justice here that was served. You might have felt that there was a deep injustice that was happening, and the King of Cups was something that you came in with to try to serve justice for somebody. There's just too much feeling, too much emotion, too much water, the air, the effervescence, it just doesn't happen. There's too much water. Your heart space is too big. in this sense. What else? In the past for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Knight of Swords. But something happened that was impetuous, that was impulsive. Gemini energy. There was impulsive action that happened. You might have taken impulsive action in order to override the justice, the swift justice, the intellectual side, the impartial side of things during this time in the past, because your heart space was ruling over things. You might have taken impulsive action, quicksilver energy, that Knight of Swords, using your intellect to overrule something of that would normally be considered fair and impartial. A ruling of sorts, a ruling of sorts. It's just not fair, I'm hearing over here. It's just not fair. You can't do it. It's just not fair. I won't allow it. I'm hearing that over here. On this side, it's just not fair and I will not allow it. I'm hearing that. That was an impulsive act that you took in order to allow the emotion to overruled. You overruled something that would normally have been considered a judgment in a situation in the past. What else? Taurus, in the recent past. It was a defining moment for you. It was a moment where you realized the way things really were. It was a defining moment for you, where you realized what you would and wouldn't stand for. You would and wouldn't stand for certain things, and it was a defining moment for you as a person, what you would and would not stand for, but also defined for you what other people would and wouldn't stand for. That's too many. Too many. Let's go. Taurus. Five of Wands. Conflict, yeah. Yeah, you fought. You had to fight hard for whatever this was. You had to fight. There was argument. I don't know who won. It's the end of our past line. We'll read the dignities. But you fought for something here. You fought for something because in your heart space you knew what was right and your emotion ruled the day. Somebody wanted to come in and say, this is right, this is wrong, it's black and white, it's black and white, and your impulsivity ruled the day with your heart, your emotions. You were willing, this was the hill you were going to die on. I'm hearing it over here. This was a hill you were willing to die on. The Five of Wands is conflict. But this is a hill you were willing to die on. You tried to come up with creative solutions along the way, but you wanted to make sure that it was balanced. You wanted to make sure it was fair. Something else came in here and tried to make it super, super black and white. And this was an eye-opening moment for you. Okay. All right, in the present for you, Taurus. I'm trying not to gloss over things for you, but at the same time, I want to get a lot of readings done tonight because I'm starting not when it's dark outside. And sometimes my encoding is slowing down like a crazy person and I don't like it. Why are they kicking out like this for you? They're kicking out on the table like this. They never do that. They're doing this for me today for you, which is weird. They never do that for me for any sign. The Devil, Capricorn energy, earthbound pleasures, the things we build upon the earth. We got to get out of this mindset where we just think the devil is evil. The devil is not evil in the tarot. The devil is, so when I started reading tarot, I started with the Mythic Tarot, the original version of the Mythic Tarot, and it uses mythology, Roman and Greek mythology, to teach the tarot. And it teaches you the devil card with the god Pan. And so it teaches you about all things built upon the earth. It teaches you about anything that's on the plane of existence that we build with our hands. It teaches you about, of course, indulgence, possession, temptation, good sex, good food, good wine, song. I have it tattooed on my body, the word song, in Mandarin Chinese. But it talks about the tangible, the things we build upon the earth and the temptations, but a deep, profound respect for the temptations. It also talks about all things that we build upon this earth and how to harness the energy of all that exists on the earthly plane. In the present moment, you're attempting to build something on the earthly plane from a creative standpoint. You're trying to approach this from a creative standpoint. You're trying to build something tangible on the earthly standpoint, on the earthly plane from a creative standpoint, and you're trying to do it from a balanced perspective. You're trying to do it in a way that doesn't invite indulgence. You're trying to do so in a way that doesn't invite temptation. You're trying to make it a healthy thing. You're trying to embody, by the way, this is Capricorn energy as well. You're trying to embody all of the healthy things. Capitalism. You're trying to embody all of the healthy creative elements of determination, ambition, passion, drive, materialism, creative energy, all of the good creative elements of that. You're trying to embody all of that, distill it down into a drop, and make sure that it is something that is a legacy of sorts. But you're trying to do it from a perspective where it's going to maintain its integrity with that Six of Pentacles above it. You don't want it to become unbalanced and become that negative thing that gets into the realms of excess when we turn the devil on its head. You're trying to do it from a standpoint where it's not going to become temptuous. You want to take all the creative elements of it and make it something tangible in the real world that can benefit people in the long run. What else? Ace of Cups. This is either renewal in a current relationship or the beginning of a new relationship when it comes to the emotional realm. A lot of people see this as the beginning of a romantic relationship. You're trying to find a creative way to do this. You're trying to find a creative way to approach this. You have a very profound, large heart space for it. You want to approach it from a balanced standpoint, but you're very tempted towards it. You're determined to make it happen. Whoever this is has a Capricorn, Taurus, Libra in their chart, Scorpio in their chart. More than likely has a lot of Libra in their chart because we have the Six of Pentacles and the Empress. And the Queen of Swords right there, even though it's not in, I mean, it's a card away in the vicinity, but we'll see. What else? But it's the beginning of something. It's something that it's beginning right now. There's a spark there. Not a spark. I mean, what's a spark when we talk about water? I don't know. Like a bubble? I don't know. What else? It could be the rekindling of something if you're already in something. You have a huge heart space for it. It sparks creativity within you. That it's something that connects you with the earthly plane, the devil and the Empress. And it balances you. It brings you, it's down to earth. It grounds you. It grounds you. What else? Taurus, Sun, Moon, arising, and Venus in the present. Seven of Swords. Okay. treachery. There is treacherous energy here. This is you. It's you. You're trying to do this behind somebody's back. No, you're not trying to do this behind somebody's back. You're trying to figure out a way to do this without other people knowing. You haven't done it yet. You're trying to do this without... Yeah, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want people to know. You have a huge heart space for it. You're trying to figure out a way to manifest it without other people knowing. So in the classic Rider-Waite Tarot, and you might see here, it's kind of the same, but it's not. Usually the Seven of Swords is a guy with swords on his back, or kind of sneaking away from camp in the night while the soldiers are sleeping with swords. He's trying to do so without people figuring it out, right? And that's what you're trying to do. Because you know in the end that there will be swift justice if people figure out what you're trying to do. I think this is contemplative energy at this time. This isn't something in the present. This is something that you're contemplating. It's contemplative. You're thinking about it very seriously. You don't feel grounded and centered right now, and you feel like you need to start this. If you don't start this soon, you're not going to come back down to earth. It's like come back down to earth. This is Associative by Marilyn Manson. 4, 3, 2, 1. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I'll never get out of here. I'll never get out of here. Anyway, yeah, it's contemplative. It's not happened yet, but you're trying to figure out a way to conceptualize this in your mind so you can do it without other people finding out, because you have such a huge heart space for it. You want to start it. You need to connect with it, but you can't. You feel disassociated from it. You know there'd be swift justice if you tried to. They're all coming out over here. I don't know why. 4 of Pentacles. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 in Pentacles. Yeah, you're holding this close to your chest. It's like I said, you have a huge heart space for this. You're holding it close to your chest. Normally with the 4 of Pentacles, we talk about things that we're saving. The deep reserve, the things that we hold close to us, particularly monetary in nature. But what I'm seeing here in particular is I'm seeing something that you're holding close to your chest because you don't want the Queen of Swords to find out. Libra energy on the Queen of Swords. The Knight of Swords being Gemini energy, that you don't want the swift impulsive action to come upon you. So you're holding your pentacles close to you. This could also be something that you're saving up for in the future, of a monetary sense, but without people knowing. You're saving up for something without people knowing. But there's something here of the deep heart space with that King of Cups. You've got secrets that you're holding close to your chest. Something of a pentacle that you're holding close to your chest. You don't want other people to know, because you know that people would view it as a very black and white situation. And sometimes you feel impulsive about it, but you have a very deep heart space for it. And you know they would view it as, so you feel treacherous because you're hiding it, but at the same time, if you don't act on it, you know that you would be robbing yourself of a very huge, massive truth. What else? 4, 3, 2, 1. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I'm never going to get out of here. I can't remember what he says. Why? Stop doing this. Like, can you kick out this way or like forward or something instead of to the right? 4 of Swords in the reverse. Because you've come out of healing and meditation and quiet repose. You feel compelled to take impulsive action because you've come out of quiet repose in the present. You've had a moment. You've come out of meditation and quiet forethought about a specific... You were conflicted in the past, but now you've had a minute to turn it over in your mind. Thank you for going this way. I appreciate that. So you feel, because you've had moments alone to think and contemplate, contemplative energy, that because that's happened with the Four of Swords in the reverse, time to heal, of course. You come out of that healing energy of the Four of Swords, that people will not consider your action to be passionate. Or, alternatively, in the present, because you've meditated on things, you've come out of that meditative quiet repose, you are deciding now, rather than feeling at the very forefront of things in the past, to take impulsive action towards something with Knight of Swords, then now, instead of Knight of Wands saying things and going passionate, guns a-blazing into doing something of passionate action moving forward, that you're going to hold off. Because you know it would cause conflict. Yeah. You know it would cause conflict, so you're holding off on taking passionate energy towards something. In the future, Taurus, yeah, the flipper. This guy right there. Seven of Cups in reverse. You don't have options. In the future, there is no option. There is no specific choice, one over the other, etc., etc. I don't know why my camera angle's weird for this one, but Seven of Cups in the reverse is when all of the phantoms, all the castles in the sky have been, cleared away. We now understand better than we did previous. We get it now. We now know what the right, correct course of action is, and we're going to take the correct course of action. We're not looking at 7 different cups and don't know where the ball is under the 7 cups. Or, I got to drink from 7 cups and I might die because, 4 of them have poison in them. There's no option. You know what the right course of action is, and you know where your beginning lies of an emotional nature. You're very tempted to move forward and build something tangible upon the earth with somebody. You're not kidding yourself. What else? Page of Pentacles. Normally I see this as a timepiece, a peace offering, a gift of some sort, or a communication that has to do with the peace offering. So you're not communicating. You're not communicating it, or you're not giving it. There's a gift that isn't being extended to somebody. You've decided to hold off. Holding out for the right time. I did this. Was it Pisces? I just did this. It was Pisces. Holding out for the right time. When is it my time never arrives? You're holding out. You don't think it's the right time because you assume that people would think that if you communicated this at the wrong time, it would be considered treacherous. It would be considered dishonest. So you're holding out. You don't want to give a gift. You don't want to communicate something. You don't want to give the apology at the wrong time. Sometimes Page of Pentacles, although the Page of Cups is usually considered an apology, I usually consider the Page of Pentacles an apology because it's a peace offering, a timepiece, a blah, blah, blah. It's a piece of something. It's something tangible. It's something that we can hold on to, that we can take to be of worth. So if it's not coming out, it's because you don't want to communicate something and have it be considered treacherous. You don't, oh, okay, I got it, because we got the Ace of Cups above it. You don't want this to be considered to be invalid when it comes to your feelings. You don't want it to invalidate your feelings. You don't want somebody to think it has to do with one thing instead of another. So you want people to know that it has to do, you want this individual to know that it has to do with your feelings and not with something that has to do with something else. And that's why you're not communicating it in the future. It's about timing, timepiece, right? You want to make sure that it's the right timing. Capricorn is ruled by time. We have the devil right there. You want to make sure that it's the right time to communicate something specific, because if you convey it at the wrong time, it's going to mean less, or it's going to mean something else, and you want it to mean something of an emotional beginning with somebody. You don't want it to be treacherous. You don't want it to mean, you don't want it to be misconstrued. Thank you. Misconstrued. You don't want it to be misconstrued. What else? Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. No. Taurus. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up by, I said the whale. Wake up by said the whale. Wow. Ten of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, you're dropping down. What was I just saying? So, you might have an unburdening with someone, but you don't want this to appear as if it has anything to do with anything other than the big. It's like you don't want somebody to feel like the communication that they have with you has to do with just, it's either one of two things, okay? You either want somebody to know that they mean something to you, of a sense of where you can unburden yourself and feel that emotional freedom with them, either of a friendship sense or a romantic sense, or the communication that comes forth where you are unburdening yourself of a bunch of stuff in the future. You don't want them to misconstrue as simply you coming to them because it's a convenient connection where you can unburden yourself and just run away after you're done unloading on them all of your problems. In fact, I think it's probably the latter. You've been in the present holding on to all of your problems with that Four of Pentacles here. You don't want to seem like you're just unloading all your bullshit onto somebody and then you just run away, because there's something of worth here that you've built upon the earth with somebody. And it's a real relationship of some sense. And if you unload all of the stuff from the present on them in the future, it's just going to seem like that's all they are to you, and that there's nothing of worth that you have with them in terms of a connection other than just, here's my problems, okay, bye. And you don't want that to be the nature of your relationship. You know that it's of far greater worth than that. So you're holding back communication in the present, and you will continue to do so in the future. You're worried if you unload your problems on somebody, especially considering that even in the past you view it as something that you have an immense heart space for, that you've communicated to them in the past about some huge things that you've been dealing with conflict and all sorts of decision making. Because you're holding off in the present, and you're going to hold off in the future because you don't want them to get the wrong idea. You don't want them to think that like they're your therapist. And then it's like, okay, thanks, bye. I'll send me the bill. That's sad. I know a couple of Tauruses, and they never want to talk about their problems. And when you try to even invite them to talk about their problems, they never want to. And then when they do, they kind of just go away, and then you never talk to them again. And it's like, if they would just talk to you about their shit, maybe they would understand you actually give a shit about them, you know. But they don't, you know, it's like they're so fixed. Damn fixed signs. These fixed signs are so funny like that. Yeah. I felt like I had a flipper there. I probably didn't. What else, Taurus? What else, Taurus? You have 3 cards to go. We're almost done, I promise you. What else, Taurus? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. In the future. 6 of Wands in the reverse. No victory, homecoming, no triumph, defeat, in fact. Okay. Yeah. You want to unburden, but you're holding on to it. If you continue to hold on to these problems and you do not unburden yourself and you do not confide in somebody because of your fear of looking treacherous and your, feeling like, oh yeah, I can just deal with this myself. Other people have their own shit. You will deal with defeat. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Sorry. This is only the second time in like 2 years of reading tarot on YouTube that I've seen the 6 of Wands in the reverse. Defeat. You need to unburden yourself, and you can't do it to nobody. You have to do it to somebody else. There's a reason that we have karma works. Karma works in 3 forms: thought, word, action. You think about it, cool. Put it into words. Unburden yourself. If you think about it, cool. That's the reason we have prayer, right? Is so that when we pray to God, we're not just doing it in our head, right? We have to speak it into existence, or we have to speak it out of our minds and our hearts in order to unburden ourselves for real. It's telling you, unburden yourself or you will be defeated. You're holding on to it too tight. People think, people will think that I'm just using them as a, sounding board or like a therapist or blah, 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 blah. They won't think that I'm genuine in my connections with them and that I'm just using them for healing and blah. You know what? What are people there for? If you have genuine connections with people, they give a shit about your problems and they want to help you with your problems. You know that, right? And if people are inconvenienced by helping you or listening to you sound off about things that hurt you, then maybe they're an inconvenience to have in your life. Sorry, not sorry, dare I say it, there I said it. Maybe you don't need people in your life like that are inconvenienced by you talking about things that hurt you, that you need to actually talk about and get off your chest. The people that love you want and are never, ever, ever gonna think that's a problem. They want to hear your problems. They want to help you with your problems. They either want to offer support or solutions. And if you don't feel that you're surrounded by people who can offer support or solutions, then maybe you're not surrounding yourself with the correct people. Oh, I don't want to burden people with my problems. Well, that's what people are there for. That's what people at least should be there for, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. You should always have a few people in your life that are willing to brew a pot of coffee and can chill with you and listen to that stuff. And I'm very sorry to read this stuff, but I also happen to know that you're pretty formidable for this being a problem. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. And I'm not making light of this, but it's kind of interesting that I'm reading this right now. Somebody's trying to turn a blind eye to somebody else. Either you are trying not to watch something that's happening, or somebody else is trying not to watch you. Normally, Page of Swords in the upright is about studying something or somebody for the purpose of learning, or communicating something for the purpose of learning, but it's also considered notoriously in tarot the stalker card. In the reverse, it's somebody who's trying to turn a blind eye to what somebody else is doing so that they can learn, or so that you can learn something else, or be impartial to your decision making. You might also be turning a blind eye because you understand that somebody else is going through a healing journey, or you understand their journey through their defeat, or you are going through your own journey of defeat and healing in the future. What else, Taurus? An ending. Scorpio season. There is an ending that's coming. Death is not always as foreboding as we see. Death means endings, transformation. It can be any type of ending, but I see here for you that what this is particularly where you are calling an end to your pain and your journey through burdens on your own. You're either deciding to, you're ending your suffering. Not literally. You're ending the loneliness of pain by yourself. Yeah. It's a decision. It's a decision that you're making in the future, probably during Scorpio season, to finally unburden yourself of a great deal of pain. If you're communicating with somebody, you've held on to a lot of this for a great deal of time, and you're either going to seek shelter through therapy, or the wise counsel of somebody who's near and dear to you, who you know will not cast judgment upon you, no matter how you feel, all of the range of emotions that you have, who will help you to transform that grief that you have into something productive. They don't cast judgment on you, and you know they do not judge you. With that Page of Swords in the reverse and the Knight of Wands in the reverse, you know they will not take any negative action towards you, and then you know that they will turn a blind eye to any action that you take as a result. They simply are an unbiased person who is there to hear you and to see you as you are. Okay, on the bottom of the deck, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. You're dealing with you also have a Capricorn in your midst. Somebody who normally would sit in comfort and finery, who is at this time, this is your energy, this isn't their energy though. This is something where you're feeling discomfort. You're feeling disharmony and discomfort right now. There's also something here about Cancer season. Because that's the inverse of Capricorn, because we have it in the reverse, right? So it happened during Cancer season. Let's get your magnetic poetry. Ooh, very few things. Ah. We actually got an initial. This is for you, Taurus. Can you see it? Okay, there we go. Well, Taurus, thank you so much. I don't know how long this is going to take to encode, but please subscribe, share, like it if it makes any sense. Check out your rising moon and Venus sign, and thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to get some more done tonight, but God knows how long it's going to take to encode all of this. Do what you gotta do. Thanks. Bye. Word, as always, look at that. I told you, man. Like, look at that. Okay, be well.